Chi volunteers visit care recipients in preparation for their upcoming winter aid distribution in China's Fujian. Quake rebuilding efforts begin on Tainan's Wenhe Street for homes that were damaged during the Chinese New Year. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lee-Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in China. With the arrival of fall, Tzu Chi volunteers from Fujian have begun the complex process of preparing for the upcoming winter aid distribution. It includes conducting home visitations, compiling a list of the recipients, and gathering supplies in advance. Let's join the volunteers as they begin to understand the needs of the recipients in Zhangzhou. The first round of home visits before this year's winter aid distribution is a difficult job for Tzu Chi volunteers, as they have to walk through muddy paths to quickly bring the good news. Tzu Chi volunteers will go from door to door to bring relief supplies and care to local residents during this year's aid distribution. Conducting home visitation beforehand helps to discover the recipient's needs. One of the residents, Han Shoukun, has to look after his wife, who is in a persistent vegetative state.
I think she is willing to bravely face the difficulties. Though she doesn't want this to happen on her, what we can do as husband and wife is to support and care for each other.
In Nanjing County of Zhangzhou, this elderly started to talk about her frustration as soon as she saw Tzu Chi volunteers. Seems the scholarship recipients who came along were the same age as the senior son who passed away years ago. They were able to comfort her. Local residents in this community are quite familiar with Tzu Chi. Each one of them has a comforter given to them by Tzu Chi on their beds. Local residents have been deeply impressed by the love from Taiwan. Despite the fact that the winter hasn't arrived yet, Tzu Chi volunteers have already brought love and care to local residents, warming everyone's hearts as well as making their home full of joy. Most children look forward to going to school. However, for many children from low-income families, going to school might not be a happy occasion. To ease such children's worries, Tzu Chi volunteers from Austin, Texas in the United States, as well as Canada's Vancouver, held back-to-school distributions in their respective area for low-income families, giving the students a leg up on their education. Students line up to enter the hall. What's waiting for them is plenty of school supplies and Tzu Chi volunteers.
One of our partners, Tzu Chi, they come every year and they brought us lots and lots of school supplies. So can we give a big round of applause to Tzu Chi? It turns into these little shreds.
Volunteers shared Tzu Chi's mission of recycling, teaching the students how compassionate relief and technology are the two elements that brought Tzu Chi's eco-friendly blanket to fruition. Meanwhile, at the YMCA auditorium in Vancouver, Canada, the young and old get a turn at picking out a Jingsi aphorism phrase.
To give joy is to help others
This is the fourth year Tzu Chi volunteers from the Canada chapter have prepared backpacks and school supplies for the students. A total of 223 sets were given to the students from kindergarten to high school.
We've been doing this for a couple of years. We enjoy it. My kids love the backpacks they get from you guys. It helps them out a lot during the school year. So we really appreciate everything you guys do.
Do you have extra shoes to share with these kids?
Many of the parents also took notice of the campaign to send unused shoes to Kenya's children.
as they hope to be able to return the kindness they've received.
In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers recently hosted a free medical clinic in Hawaiian Gardens, California. This event was the culmination of 10 years of friendship with the community. Volunteers hope for more events like this in the future.
The sun has yet to rise, but Tzu Chi volunteers are already at the Activities Center in Hawaiian Gardens, setting up for a free clinic. Everything from the tables to the medical equipment is arranged neatly in order to begin at 9 a.m.
At a low cost or free. It's very good for our community, for our children, and our people that are elder that come out here and use our facilities.
The Hawaiian Gardens sounds like a paradise. Those who live here are living in anything but, as over 90% are considered low income. Tzu Chi volunteers began to care for the disadvantaged in this area with scholarships. This year, they successfully cooperated with the city government to hold a free clinic.
My teeth are very clean and they feel so clean. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Everything is real good, everything you guys got.
The planning for this day began back in February with a meeting, then later scouting out a venue. To advertise for the event, volunteers headed into the community and found many of the local residents willing to help translate.
Had a lot of good experience here today. It was a great feeling giving back to the community, helping translate and provide support to people in need.
And they all tell me how impressed they are, and they all actually want to come and volunteer because they feel so excited and so heartfelt when they leave.
At the end of the day, 180 volunteers served a total of 356 patients. In the future, Tzu Chi plans to hold regular free clinics in this area to continue looking after the health of these residents.
In early August, TIMA hosted a large-scale free clinic in Tacloban of the Philippines. 2 weeks after, TIMA doctors from the ophthalmology department returned to check on the patients who had cataract surgery. They also brought prescription glasses for patients who needed them, as promised.
Patients typically go to a doctor whenever they feel pain, but this is quite different at TIMA's free clinic in Tacloban, where patients were invited to return for a checkup with their medical team that spent 6 hours traveling from Singapore and Manila. These doctors wanted to check on the condition of patients who previously underwent cataract surgery. TIMA doctors also offered corrective measures for patients whose corneas are opaque.
Their corneas are a little bit opaque, so we gave them a kind of contact lens which can improve their eyesight by healing their scars. As for those parts which cannot be cured by operation, they need to wear contact lenses to improve their eyesight.
It is not easy for a schoolchild who has a problem with the blurred vision to study well. This may seriously affect their confidence in their future.
I know it's hard for her to catch up with schoolwork, but now she gets ready to study more because she can see clearly now.
TIMA members from the Philippines eagerly returned to Tacloban 2 weeks after a previously held large-scale free clinic, making sure that all the patients they had treated had a chance to regain their eyesight.
Also about a free clinic, but this report takes place in Taiwan's New Taipei City. TIMA's medical outreach in Ruifang not only offered personal medical consultation and health education, but TIMA members also comforted the elderly with loving care.
91-year-old senior was originally reluctant to see a doctor because of the heavy rain outside. Fortunately, she was able to seek medical treatment with the help of Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi brothers drove me here. Otherwise, I was wondering whether TIMA would come here or not.
TIMA hosts a free clinic in New Taipei City's Ruifang, mostly serving the patients with problems such as muscular dystrophy and degenerative joint disease.
The therapy we offer for their degenerative joint disease is limited, so we should provide them with health and hygiene education.
Meanwhile, another group of TIMA members travel along the narrow alleys and mountain roads in the rain to make home visits. In a dark dormitory, an 88-year-old senior used to walk outside of her house and enjoy small talk with her neighbors quite frequently. However, she is now physically incapable of caring for herself. After this senior son described the health condition of his mother, the daughter encouraged him to talk more frequently with her. Although this senior is unable to express herself in words, she can feel warmth and love from TIMA members. Mr. Tian suffers from polio and epilepsy since his youth, making him look unhappy. After this TIMA daughter encouraged him to think about the bright side of life, he finally began to smile. Patients in remote regions need not only healthcare, but also the way to relieve their worries when battling pain. TIMA daughters suggest they chant Buddhist sutras regularly to calm their minds.
After the damage that Typhoon Nepartak dealt to the Taidong region and especially to farmers in Shanglan village, it may take as long as 4 years for some farmers to make a full recovery. Recently, the Tzu Chi Foundation invited Shanglan farmers to visit Luojie's farm to learn how to recover from their crop losses faster.
To help the recovery of farmers whose crops were destroyed during Typhoon Nepartak, the Tzu Chi Foundation is making a survey of farms in Taidong, along with local farmers who have been invited to share their experiences and discuss crop suggestions and farming methods.
A lot of the crops have already been damaged by wind, and the losses of these farmers may take 1 or 2 years to recover. We've heard that in some places the farms are able to make some profits this year, like some of the sugar apple orchards and pineapple orchards. Some of the farmers will be able to turn a small profit in the short term.
Utilizing his specialist knowledge of crops and planting techniques, this farm owner is doing what he can to encourage other farmers, hoping agriculture in the region can get back on its feet as soon as possible.
Under these canopies, it gets very warm and moist, which makes it easy for pests to spread. So in this case, you have to spray a lot, and you will be the first to get the spray. We don't need to tear down the current scaffolds because they are very useful. For example, I've been growing sugar apples, but now I'm slowly phasing them out, and I'll be growing something else like passion fruit.
For farmers in Shanglan village, the crisis caused by Typhoon Nepartak has become a turning point. Dealing with the crisis reminds many of the true spirit of farming and helps them realize what possibilities the future may hold.
For example, we're talking about the dragon fruit now. Dragon fruit doesn't really require much protection from pests, so basically it doesn't require much pesticide, and bugs aren't a big problem. So that's the direction that I want to go with my crops.
With local interaction between farmers, the entire community comes together to offer mutual encouragement. Everyone is facing the future positively to overcome this difficult time.
After DaAi TV began airing, many people have lent their financial support for the station. To thank all of the supporters, the television station planned a 50th anniversary musical concert. In total, 11 performances are scheduled around Taiwan, with the first one in Nantou Jingsi Hall.
Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary music concert brings lovely music to the audiences. The host, Brother Amin, and Tzu Chi volunteers' interactions is the other highlight of the show.
I hope you can all build more and more big houses that you can move into and donate the small ones to Tzu Chi. I also hope you'll be healthy and have a strong immune system and 4 healthy limbs. For what? To do Tzu Chi work.
We wish to spread the positive energy we have gathered over the years to our audiences.
Volunteers also invited the public to the concert to witness the goodness, truthfulness, and beauty of DaAi TV.
Our DaAi TV always brings harmony to society, so I invited people in our community to the concert to see it.
Taiwan needs a force of stability, and religion can play an important part. I feel Tzu Chi can play this important role.
This businessman has found his value after attending a camp in Hualien.
活就是在我们的心里面。
The Buddha is in our hearts, so we should have compassion and great love. With great love, we will give without asking for anything in return.
"11 Great Love music concerts will be held for the audiences and spread great love to every corner of society."
To help dilapidated schools in Hualien, Tzu Chi's Project Hope of Disaster Risk Reduction is rebuilding 5 schools. With the project still ongoing, members of the construction committee visit the site each month to check the quality and safety of the work, also ensuring the project schedule is met.
To ensure a safe educational environment for children, the principal of Hualien's Huaren Junior High School visits this construction site. After graduating from college, this was his first teaching job. He has been here for 11 years and knows all of the demands of local students, as he's truly grateful for Tzu Chi's aid.
非常感谢慈济的师兄师姐以及
Thanks to Tzu Chi brothers and sisters and these specialists who come every month to inspect our construction site, giving our supervising unit some very practical suggestions. This allows our building quality to be quite good.
弯钩这样弯的时候，这个混凝土块要顶住它。
Another principal is confident the construction of the new school will be completed and later visits the building site of Zhongyuan Elementary School accompanied by Tzu Chi volunteers to check the safety of the school.
学校因为有特教班。
This school has a special education class which requires a barrier-free environment. We hope that all children who are sent here are able to have a safe and comfortable place to study, as I'm quite confident in the quality of the construction, as well as the aesthetic design and safety.
Education is every child's hope, as a construction committee makes monthly visits to all of Tzu Chi's Project Hope of disaster risk reduction sites to check the safety and quality of each building.
有没有按照
We check to see if they are carrying our work in accordance with safety specifications, as every little detail will affect the future strength of the structure and its ability to resist earthquakes.
Hualien's Project Hope aims to make schools that can truly provide students a safe and secure learning environment.
The February 6th earthquake, which struck Tainan, brought devastation to major residential high-rise apartments, along with Wenhe Street, where 13 residences were badly damaged. A groundbreaking ceremony took place recently to mark the rebuilding of Wenhe Street, with Tainan Mayor Lai Ching-te personally in attendance. Lai personally thanked Tzu Chi for accompanying affected residents on the difficult path of piecing back their lives together.
The February 6th earthquake in Tainan affected 13 houses on Wenhe Street, with rebuilding work slated to take place in the original location of these affected residences, with many hoping they can move back into their home by next Lunar New Year.
I'm in good spirits and would like to thank the government for looking after us.
感谢很多人的帮助。
The houses here are not very big, with the largest being only about 30 square meters in size, and the smallest 18 square meters, which houses 4 to 5 people.
These 13 houses were built 50 years ago with no foundations. They are simple cement structures that were impacted by soil liquefaction and deemed dangerous after the February 6th earthquake. Tzu Chi volunteers surveyed the disaster area and immediately decided to offer their assistance.
When these borough residents encountered problems, they contacted the borough chief to reach us.
Including disaster relief and reconstruction, we have to thank Tzu Chi for their care.
The first step in the reconstruction of Wenhe Street in Tainan City after the February 6th earthquake has begun, and Tzu Chi volunteers pledge to help these residents complete the difficult task of putting their lives back together.
Now 81 years old, Chen Yang Li-rong raised her 2 daughters on her own after her husband passed away when she was 26. Then in 1972, she began helping widowed mothers like herself, and for the past 45 years, she has helped 467 mothers so far. She recently set up a foundation so it can continue her work.
Upon seeing the most important person in her life, Cai Chen Minzhu has so much to thank her for.
My husband died in 1998, and I started getting help in 1999. I feel we shouldn't feel lonely after our spouses die because we still have other mothers to help us.
They too have to strive hard. We haven't helped them much. They must rise up bravely.
81-year-old Grandma Li-Rong is smiling brightly, but it is hard to tell she suffered greatly at a young age. When she was 26 years old, her husband died, so she had to raise her children alone. She understands the suffering of widowed mothers, so she vowed to help them.
For 45 years, she has never forgotten her promise. She always helps over 10 single mothers every year.
Grandma Li-Rong has been helping single mothers since 1972, but a sickness in 2007 inspired her to set up a foundation.
I then realized my life won't last very long, but I still hope the work for widow mothers can continue.
At the age of 72, this grandmother donated $10 million to set up a foundation. In addition to Tainan Minzhu, 2 other mothers also became the board members of the foundation, showing that this grandmother's love is truly spreading.
As Fujian's Xiamen plans to apply for recognition of the city of Gulangyu as a cultural landscape with UNESCO, last September the city government began a series of activities to promote the island's image. Recently, an outdoor activity was held where Tzu Chi volunteers took to the local park to promote environmental conservation to passers-by.
Discarded materials into props, Tzu Chi volunteers are telling a story.
我是地球的癌细胞，我可以在地球上生活1万年啊！
The longer trash stays on Earth, the more threatening it is to human lives. The host of the event, a journalist from a local newspaper, sees the positive effect this has on people.
Those who raise their hands to answer have listened attentively to your information. They remember specific numbers and such. It proves that Tzu Chi makes these lessons easy for children to remember.
The Xiamen government is applying to make Gulangyu a cultural landscape with UNESCO. Even the children have taken to heart these environmental ideals.
这个垃圾污染了一个城市，污染了一个家园，任何人都不愿意来了。我会推广我们整个学校一起去环保，尽量少用那些塑料袋。给我们的孩子一个干净的地球。
Tzu Chi continues to spread ideas of environmental protection to tourists, so the ocean and island can be enjoyed for decades to come.
In response to the Mid-Autumn Festival, Tzu Chi volunteers from Malacca have been making mooncakes for a charity sale. As the money earned from the mooncakes will go towards the construction fund for a Tzu Chi International School, many were eager to contribute their share. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.